Orange is the New Black, Season 2, Episode 11. One thing I'm growing to appreciate more and more about this show is how these subplots can just kind of percolate in the background, and you don't really pay attention to them, but when they sometimes become this big thing out of nowhere, you can't exactly say that nothing was set up properly because it all was. And you never know when that's going to happen or when it's just going to be this little comic relief side plot like the sex contest turned out to be. So here that happens with the hunger strike as we get Sister Engel's backstory, and it turns out she's quite an attention whore. She was doing all these big causes in the 60s to the present, but it was really all about puffing up her own ego, and she doesn't even seem to realize that. So it's another story that makes perfect sense with what we already know about them, but is still surprising, and it's very impressive how often they've been able to pull that off. And we also have the smuggling pipeline getting shut down rather than Red letting V in on it because she knows where that's going, which ultimately leads to one of the older prisoners shanking what she thinks is V, but it's actually another black prisoner. And it's kind of oddly shot where we don't actually see the face of the person getting stabbed, so I don't know if it's supposed to be someone we recognize or just this random other person and the only thing that matters is she was wrong. But I do have enough faith in the show at this point to hope that it's just a random person, because the idea that they wouldn't realize we should see them face at some point if we were supposed to is just something that I have a hard time imagining with people of this skill level. And we also have Larry and Polly's relationship wrapped up even more, because now both their significant others know about it and they're just forging ahead with it. And I do get the feeling this is the last we're going to see of them, and I have never really been that invested in this, but they put it out there, so it is their duty to wrap it up. And if that is what this is, it's done pretty well. This whole time, there's been like a minimum of real wangsting emotional melodrama about it. Just there's a bare minimum of it, but it doesn't go beyond that, and that is really what I've been hoping to see from a story like this for a while, and I haven't, because so many writers these days are convinced that you have to throw as much emotion at the audience as possible or it won't work, and this is proof that it can work that way. So big kudos to that. We don't really get that much else in the episode that I can recall, although I did see it, full disclosure, while I was a bit sleep deprived on an airplane. So, that's how much I'm devoted to continuing this one episode a day thing. You may notice I'm in a different location now. This is a hotel, and you'll see this for the next week. So, that is my update for now, and I'll get back to you next time.